And just like that, Violet Evergarden comes to a close. It brought us many, many countless hours of tears, laughter, and enjoyment, and it has finally come to an end. But even though it has come to an end, there is some good news that I would like to let you all know. This isn't the definitive end for Violet Evergarden, at the very least for anime form. Later this year, in a couple months or so, apparently there's going to be an OVA coming out. So this isn't the final episode. I mean, it's the final for now, but we're going to kind of be on break for a while. But there will be another episode, which will be an OVA that comes out later. However, there was a news announcement that apparently there is another project for Violet Evergarden in works from KyoAni. So, for whatever that may be, it could be a movie announcement, a season 2, more OVAs, I have no idea. But apparently, KyoAni is not officially done with Violet Evergarden yet. So, we do have more to look forward to. So that is good news. So if you liked Violet Evergarden and you're sad to see it go, do not worry, it will return at a later date, either with a movie or more OVAs, but there you go. So to get right into it, this is the finale for now, and it definitely ends at a good note. I think the way it ended, I don't know how everybody really feels about it. I really haven't seen or read much of social media today because I've been kind of busy editing videos and working on new shows that came out recently, but I gotta say that the ending, I enjoyed it. I think it ended at a perfect point, because it put a nice bow on top for Violet's character, her conflict with Gil's brother, and also all of her little attachments to everyone else around her and all that she's working with. We just get to see this bow on top that wraps everything up, and it ends in a perfect way, in my personal opinion. I mean, everything that I wanted from the show when it started, I think I got what I wanted. I mean, honestly, I didn't think Gil was ever going to come back, so anyone that really thought he was going to come back, I mean, I guess you'd be disappointed. And I mean, it's even stated in this episode that Gil could potentially come back. Even Violet herself says that she doesn't believe he's truly dead. He might one day return, but for now, though, we could assume he is dead. And I do like the way the story just kind of wraps everything up, and it handled what it set out to do, and we got what we wanted from this series. Violet managed to get empathy, and she managed to finally understand the words, "I love you." So, to start, I just want to talk about the beginning first. So, Violet, she manages to quickly handle the situation with everybody attacking the train. She manages to, stop the bombs from going off on the train tracks and, blowing up the bridge, derailing the train, and killing everybody. She actually takes it upon herself to jump down and try to dislodge the bomb off the tracks. Now, I want to say right now, this entire scene has a lot of meaning, because even though it looks like she's doing something crazy and she's, trying to fight or, get rid of a bomb, she wasn't ordered to do this. She was actually going out of her way, risking her own life to protect others around her without anyone telling her what to do. And I feel like that's kind of what really started to change Gil's brother in that moment. Wasn't being ordered to do that. She was just, showing the kindness within her, trying to save everyone else. And when you saw her ripping her own arms off, basically, to protect others, it was kind of the equivalent of what she did for Gil. When Gil died, that's kind of what she did. She gave up her own arms to protect Gil, and that was kind of like a parallel to that scene. When you see her arms flying off, slowly breaking, her fingers just crumbling and breaking apart, it was showing that she wouldn't just do this for Gil. She loved Gil a lot, but she has made connections with so many people around her, this journey she's had throughout, this series, that she just doesn't want them to die. And so she went out of her way to protect all of them. And so when you see her, limbs flying off, you're like, oh my god, she's not a tool anymore. She is a human being with emotions that is trying to save people. And in that moment, it really kind of signifies how much she has developed. Now, this entire scene is extremely painful and sad, because you get from the scene that ever since the very beginning, Gil actually wanted Violet to be there. He wanted Violet to live there and have a home, but Violet was never really given that chance, obviously, because of the whole, relationship and how it was strained with Gil's brother and Violet. It wasn't a good relationship at all between those two. And so that never came to, fruition. Those two, being in the same house, or Gil allowing, Violet to be in the house because of everything. And it didn't happen. And we know what happened, because Violet had to go somewhere else out and take the name of Evergarden. And in a way, if she would have went to that house, she might not have turned out like she is now. She might not be the person she is. She might not have developed this far and have been able to change and not be a tool anymore. So, we can't really say which direction was correct or not. We can't say if she would have went to Gil's house and got to live there, if that would have been a good or a bad thing for her as a person. We don't really know. We probably will never know. But for now, though, we get to see that Violet gets to talk with Gil's mother. And the mother has some very kind words to say. And there is a lot of, things from that scene that shows that Violet, she has gained a lot of burdens on her shoulders. She has realized that she has lost a lot. And when she's talking with the mother kind of relieves something from Violet. She's like, Violet, it's not your fault. You know, don't allow yourself to carry this burden. Don't allow yourself to hold on to Gil and carry the burden of what happened to him and all that. And the way that scene was done, it kind of shows that Violet, don't blame yourself. You did everything you could. You can't, carry that with you for the rest of your life and try to, think it's all your fault. You need to be able to move forward with your life and not be shackled down. And I like that entire scene with the mother. It kind of allowed Violet to reach some form of closure within herself and Gil as a person, either him being dead or just missing for right now. She managed to reach some form of closure. Now, when it comes to the brother, what he says to Violet also holds a lot of meaning. When he's like, I want you to live a very, very long life. If after you live a very long life, then you can die. And when you see those words, it might seem very cruel, okay, the way he's saying that. He's like, this is an order. It seems like cruel words he's saying, but in reality, he actually is saying something very kind to Violet. Because if we reflect on what he has been saying to her, or how he's treated her, it's very obvious that, he wouldn't normally have said those things to Violet. It does show that he realizes that Violet has changed in some ways. And when he says that, he does truly mean it. He's trying to mean it from deep within his heart, he cares about Violet in his own way. But when Violet turns around and she's like, I no longer need to follow orders and stuff, or I don't follow orders, and she bows to him, it kind of shows, you don't need to tell me to live my life any other way. I will live a long life, because I don't need orders to do that anymore. And there you go, that was the bow. That was the nice little bow on top for Violet, showing that she has come to that conclusion to where she could live a normal life now, and she comprehends emotions. She realizes what she's been through, the burn mark she has within her that she will have to carry to the very end of her life, but she has managed to overcome this and try to move forward and have a happy life. And I feel like that final part of the episode, when she's writing a letter to Gil, it's more of her writing a letter to herself than Gil, actually. And I feel like that's what all the letters really meant. I mean, some of them were meant for, a future daughter, which we see Hodgins, he writes for his future daughter, which I thought was very sweet. It kind of clarifies that, those two characters are in a relationship, but, I mean, for the most part, Violet's letter, it meant that she was writing to herself. She was giving herself final closure to what she has been through, and kind of, letting herself know that it's okay. Everything that happened, it sucks, but we have to move forward, and, we have to be happy. And the people that we, leave us behind, they don't want us to sit there in darkness or sadness. They want us to smile. They want us to live on and be happy with our lives. And that's kind of what that message of that scene was, when Violet had that letter, when she was saying she wrote it for Gil, but she actually wrote it for herself. And I feel like that's a perfect way to wrap up the show. Violet just, saying something to herself and reaching closure. So, concluding that, let's also talk about how Violet, she now has a new purpose in life. She has a purpose to help out others. That is her purpose now. She wants to be able to deliver everybody's thoughts and feelings, because she realizes that no letter should go unanswered. That's something she reached a conclusion to a while ago, but you could see that with the final segment of the episode, when she's, has a new appointment to deliver a letter. It's very urgent, and she's going there. It shows that she's not going to give up. She's not going to give up delivering letters. This is going to be her new role, because in a way, she's redeeming herself for what she has done, but she's also bringing a lot of people happiness. The same happiness that was brought to her by Gil and everyone else out that's helped her all these times. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to Violet Evergarden. It was a good show. It was a really, really good show. I think that overall, this probably couldn't have been done any better. I don't think any other studio could have handled Violet Evergarden as well as KyoAni did. I mean, KyoAni did a fantastic job. I know there's been a lot of complaints about the show. I know that there's many that have hated on Violet Evergarden, saying it's a bad series, and, you know, I can see why many might not like this type of show. It is a very slow show, and it's definitely not action-heavy, which I know there's probably many out there that probably expected action from this show, but that's not what this was about. It was more of healing and all of that after traumatic events in your life. That's what it was. And I like shows like this, and I'm very surprised that I actually continued with my episode reviews throughout the entirety of this series, because even though I love this series, I've enjoyed it from start to finish. Normally these type of shows I don't really do episode reviews on, because they're very slow, or there's not really much to really grasp because they're so straightforward sometimes. But even though it was straightforward in a lot of parts, I just couldn't help myself from reviewing this weekly because I liked it. So I will give props to you on that, KyoAni. You managed to keep me entertained and make me want to talk about this every single week. I appreciate that. And so with that, I guess this ends my Violet Evergarden videos. Thank you so much for all of you that have tuned in and have watched these videos from start to finish, or if you're a new fan or whatever, I do appreciate it a lot. And for all of you that did recommend this series to me a while back, like last year, I do appreciate it as well. Thank you so much for, being here, helping me out, and just, supporting this channel. So I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. And remember, before I end this, if there ever is a season 2, don't worry, I will make videos on it. You can bet on that. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Stay healthy. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. Chibi out.